Macroparticle. Greetings, it's MACROPARTICLE here, and welcome to another installment of my Map Adventures series, which is a showcase of the latest builds on my creative map called MACROPARTICLE Synthesis, built on the PlayStation 4 edition of Minecraft. So, before I share anything with you, I have one minor announcement to make, and that is that I have given the interior of the rear driver's cab on my largest train build a slight makeover so that it looks more like the interior of the front driver's cab, I mean. So I've added these white wall sections, and also I've modified these roof curves, well, these curves, to make the roof look more symmetrical. We're back at the high street, where I have an even bigger announcement to make, and that is that I have extended the blue line so that for the first time it now serves as an interconnecting route between two different stations, and we're about to head over there right now. Coincidentally, the blue line will take us to the very build that will be the main showcase for this episode. I have newly added these banister rails as a safety feature so that customers do not fall off the staircase. I've also modified this rear section. In the future, I intend to produce a build vaguely in that direction with a corresponding station that will be served by both of these two lines. So, let's head over there. So here we are at the station. I've named this location as Green Plains. Alright, so you could argue that it is not completely plain and ask why I named it. So the main reason why I named it plain was since the landscape is fairly level in that there isn't that much terrain. Anyhow, the platform itself is an unusual structure in that it has rotational symmetry instead of linear symmetry. To give you an idea of what I mean, I'll rotate around. To put this in perspective, passengers wanting to travel in, let's say, for example, that direction should take this staircase, and passengers who want to travel in this direction should take this staircase. Although it is possible even at the platform level to switch between the platforms. So for this station, I've decided to give it a dome-shaped structure. I know, I'd make quite the architect, wouldn't I? You'd be surprised by how long it actually takes to produce a dome. First, I'll start by giving you a tour of this side of the riverbank. So first of all, yes, the bridge was also a vanity project. I deliberately added these features just to make the bridge look more aesthetic. Here's a close-up of one of the legs of the bridge. So here's the slope of the track. As you can see, it has a gradient of, I'd say, of 1 in 4. That would be the gradient of 0.25. Here is the text, which displays the name of the map. And yes, just like with the bridge, this time I added ridges simply for vanity reasons. And on the other side of the main pathway, we have a hedge that resembles the head of my avatar. The designs of the bridges look identical on both sides, as they should. So now I will give you a tour of the scenery, the atmosphere of the place. So yes, this arguably does resemble something out of Super Mario World or something, but trust me, I have adapted a few of these styles to make them my own. See, I used 2 different shades of green. Now I will show you the other side of the riverbank, which has the most features of the map. So that bridge that we just crossed has a curvature feature. So here is the forestry area. If you were observant enough, you would find that all of the structures on this map were built by hand. They are artificial, including what appears to be the grass, which is in reality actually light green, lime green, whatever you call it, clay, or terracotta as it's now called, as a result of the new updates. Speaking of which, I've also used the blocks that were added in the new update for this build. So yes, I'll remind you that all of these trees are artificial. However, as large as they are compared to the original Minecraft trees, even they are dwarfed by this large motherfucker over here. Oh yeah. You may be surprised to know that this was the first tree to be built on this map. The plan view of the tree does look quite flat compared to the underside of it. Apart from size, what also differs about this tree from all the rest on this map, except for those 5 over there in the distance closest to the riverbank, is that this tree looks like a typical, what do you call, oak, whereas the rest of the trees are fairly circular in that they resemble Christmas trees or trees that are adapted to living in colder or even snowy climates. Now over here we have these odd looking bumps. I added them to give this terrain a slight 3-dimensional feel to it, because I did feel that it was a bit too plain, if you know what I mean. Although yeah, they do look a bit like Koopa shells and what have you. Here is this muddy, swampy section which contains these large mushrooms, which also resemble something out of Super Mario, arguably. Here's the largest mushroom. Over here we have another corner featuring another leveled platform over here. On this side, this is supposed to represent the lower part of the riverbank. In other words, that the water is flowing in that direction. So for this wall, I decided to give it a fairly basic checkered pattern. This is supposed to represent some sort of a canyon, which brings us here. As you can see, here is a wavy river section. Brings us to this magnificent looking waterfall. And here is this gigantic mountain section, which was inspired by my previous version of this, which was built on my now deleted time-lapse map about 2 years ago, even though this build is completely new. In that direction, I also intend to extend this route even further to a brand new build. And to add even more scenery, I produced this rainbow pattern, which arches all the way from one side of this landscape to the other. And if we take a closer look, then you'll find all the colors of the rainbow, because as we all know, diversity is our greatest strength. Just kidding. Although at first glance the river looks quite plain, I will assure you that it's mainly due to the fact that the light levels quickly drop underneath the surface, especially since the river is deep. So to show you what lies beneath the surface, I'm going to use a potion of night vision. So here we go. And what do we have here? So first you'll notice that the riverbed is striped and the walls are fairly layered. As you can see here are also some grass strips. In the muddy section, the grass strips only lie on this side of the river. Otherwise the floor is identical to the wall. Wow, it looks so blue underneath the water surface with this potion of night vision. And because of this potion, the large tree looks even more visible. The features of it, I mean. So this is supposed to be a rocky section. So you can see stone walls, stone bed. And here another stream section that leads into the main river. This section is also rocky, and the waterfall looks even better than without the night potion. We have now reached the end of the tour. As you can see, this was quite a large scale build project, so it would really make my efforts worthwhile if you were to like this video and share it too. Why not subscribe to this channel for all the latest updates if you're new?